This is Jamie and Lori. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Lori.
Let's talk about the holiday blues.
Yeah, that's a good one. I definitely have the holiday blues since my parents passed. Well, you know what? I think the holidays have always made me a little blue for some reason.
Wait, even when your parents were alive, or when you didn't live with your parents?
Yeah, maybe after I got married and didn't live with my parents. As a child, I loved the holidays, and it just changed. It changes when you become an adult.
It wasn't the same thing.
Yeah. And my husband wasn't into the holidays; he could care less. So, I was decorating a tree in the house all by myself, and
that's a big deal.
Yeah. So it makes you blue.
So, are you bluer now that your parents are gone than you were
definitely.
when you were just married to your husband? So it magnified the blueness.
It's magnified, definitely. Yeah.
And so, do you find, is there anything that you do, like during the holiday season, that helps you not feel blue, or do you just accept it and know it's going to happen and you deal with it?
I try to do things that bring me joy, so I...
Related to, like, the holiday?
Yeah, so I'll still do a tree, although this year I didn't, but that's another conversation. But I usually always I have a really skinny little tree, and I just, and it's fun when I dig out my decorations, and from year to year you kind of forget what they all look like. And then I started saving all of my Christmas cards. I don't get that many anymore. People just don't send Christmas cards anymore. Everything's electronic these days.
I don't send Christmas cards. It's terrible.
I know. I used to. Years ago, I sent a Christmas card to every single person I knew.
Oh, you're one of those people. I have some girlfriends who do that, and I have to say, every time I get those cards, I love them.
You do love them?
I love getting cards. And I think to myself, next year I'm going to send out cards, and I never do. But anybody who's listening, if you send out cards, they're wonderful. Don't stop. I
will agree, and I'm going to add, take the time to add a little personable note to each person that you're sending a card to.
Yes.
Don't, because I often feel sometimes like I was just part of an assembly line.
Right.
You open the card, your name is on the envelope, and it just says, "Love, Mary." And it was like, well, she just sat down one night and signed, "Love, Mary, love, Mary, love, Mary, love, Mary, love, Mary."
Well,
and then, stamped all the envelopes, and off they went. I don't know.
You know what? So maybe you should look at it that it's nice that your name made it onto the assembly line.
That's true.
And that maybe your loneliness during the holiday season made that seem impersonal to you, when the truth is she was thinking enough about you to send you a card.
That's true.
I mean, I guess you could look at it different ways, is what I'm saying. But
that's a good point.
Right? I mean, yeah.
Right.
So,
but I now, a few years back, I don't open them as they come in. I save them. I'll just put them in a little basket or something, and then on Christmas morning, I'll fix myself a mimosa or two, and whatever, get a pastry or something, and I'll maybe put a Christmas movie on the TV, and then I'll sit there and I'll open, and it's kind of like, it's like having things to open, because I'm a single lady, and I don't have family anymore.
Then that's why that means a lot to you,
right?
That is a gift. Someone's sentiments and thoughts about you is a gift, so that makes total sense.
And it makes it even more special when they've actually said, "I've been thinking about you. How are you?"
Yes,
or
I get it.
Like even just little things. Some people will send long letters, and that's always nice too.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I've always had I had 4 kids, so I've had lots of Christmases where I did the tree, the kids, we had great Christmases. Everything was very Christmassy. Christmas cookies, music, decorating the tree, gifts, all that stuff. So since I'm now an empty nester and my kids are out, it initially was very difficult for me, just because it was such a change, really, not to have anybody to do all this for. But I lately have realized and thought to myself, I'm doing it for myself. Like, I like to see a Christmas tree. I like to see the lights blinking and decorated. I felt good looking at it when I had kids. I would feel just as good looking at it when my kids are not around.
Right.
And it's kind of like what you do. It's just important to realize that it's what you do for yourself that
Absolutely.
really brings Christmas alive, right?
Yeah, you have to make your own
You do.
traditions. And when your family dynamics change for whatever reason, you have to kind of, I mean, I hate to say roll with the punches, but
You do, though. Yeah.
you know, you have to be constantly changing
Yes.
and figuring out ways to
So true.
keep the spirit alive
Yes,
for
you have
you
to.
and
Yes.
whatever that means to you.
Yes. I remember one year I didn't put up a Christmas tree just because we were traveling. It really didn't make sense. And I felt like I missed out on something. It bothered me the whole entire year afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
it just bothered me. So, but I also think it's really important to get together with friends and to do things. You know, remember people, invite them over if you can, or even have a dinner like before, so that maybe you establish a tradition for someone who doesn't have any traditions. That becomes their holiday tradition.
Right.
You know, we as friends, as girlfriends, we can provide that
Absolutely.
for
Well,
other people,
yeah,
right?
I'm always
are.
you know, brought into different friends' families throughout
Yeah.
the years, you know, like,
Yeah.
so I have been very fortunate to have people like, no, come spend Christmas Day with us, or
Yeah.
come spend Christmas Eve with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, and that's just what it is. That's the way it is
Yeah.
today with me, and
Yep. So we make the best of it,
we
basically.
do.
Yes.
We do.
All right.